Just like 90% of you, I had a dog that wasn't motivated to do anything I asked him to do. And why would they be? You've been chucking cheese at them since the day they came home. On this channel, we're going to give you a sneak peek behind a dog trainer's life, get it? And reveal all the secrets on how to get a perfect pet for free, no bullshit. All the information's out there, it's just a nightmare to sift through it if you don't know what you're looking for. So I'm going to lay it all out here for you for free. Okay, so often when a client comes to us, one of the first things that we do is look at motivation, because the dog needs to be motivated to do something, and you need to have something that motivates the dog if we're going to ask them to do anything. So, Emily, motivation, what do you think? What's some ways that we could build motivation? What is motivation?
Food and toys.
You got a bit of knowledge because you come and watch a couple of the classes, don't you? So food, let's start there. So often clients will come and they'll say, my dog's not interested in food, he's not bothered, I can't use it when we're outside, and so on. And so to begin with there, what we'd often do is look at how they're eating their meals first. And so often, a lot of the times, dogs will be left to have food on the floor in the bowls, and they'll be just grazing on it all day like cattle. But the first step that we often do is just pick that food up. So if the dog leaves it, then it comes up and it will come back down next time that we do a meal. And then so from there, once they're actually eating all the meals and they're motivated to eat, whenever the food comes down, then we can start using the food for training, right? And then it becomes like an actual value for them. And then obviously from there, then the first thing that we do, and the most important word that we have with our dog, probably, is what?
Important word?
Yeah. What's the word that means you've done something right? Because if like a lot of what we do is reactivity, and so if we're gonna tell a dog to not do something, and we're gonna sort of suppress certain sides of their behaviour, then it's important that we can also tell them what they do need to do. And so we need a word that says you're doing the thing right.
You say to Clifford, yes.
Yeah, so often we use the word yes, and that's like a terminal marker, and that means you've done the thing right, come and get the food. Now, I've got a free, here's your plug, I've got a free video on that. You asked for it, so here it is for free. Your dog isn't listening to you, they're trying to pull you down the street, maybe they're trying to pull you over to every dog you see, or maybe they just don't come back when they're called. Here's the secret. Doing the same thing over and over again isn't getting you anywhere. The thing you actually need to start with for your dog is motivation, and I'm going to show you how to get it for free, no rubbish. Just click the link in the description to get your free motivation guide now and start actually seeing the results you want to see in your dog. But essentially, you want to have a word that says, you've done the thing right, come and get food. And we should start using their daily food, so their kibble, not treats. We should start using their kibble to do that. Why do you think we should use a kibble for that and not treats?
I don't know.
This is your opportunity to give a non-dog trainer's insight into what the client might be thinking. And before Jasmine starts kicking up. You don't know, that's okay. So the reason you want to use the dog's food and not treats is because there's a ceiling to how, if you keep increasing the value of something, there's a ceiling at some point, right? And so if we keep offering them more valuable, he's going to get bored of cheese, then you're going to go to chicken, he's going to get bored of chicken, then we're going to go to chocolate or whatever it is. And at some point there's going to be a ceiling, and so we can't always keep getting more and more valuable. Also, people bring their dogs down, treats are normally come with like extra sugars in them and stuff like that, or they come really fatty, and so especially in the early days of dog training, what's the difficulty of that? We're just giving our dog loads and loads of shit food.
It's not a healthy dog.
They're going to get really, really fat. So we might cut that bit.
Yeah.
I'm just riffing. So one of the things you'll hear me talk about in that free guide is that you want to have a variable reward system. And so often we call it that, like, gambler's effect. So what do you think that might be?
Gambler's
When you're building up motivation for a dog and we're rewarding him with food, do you think we just give one piece of food every time, or do you think we give loads of food every time, or what do you think?
Well, from watching one of your group classes, you did like the first one just one piece, the second one just one piece, and then you did your jackpot payment, you called it.
Hey.
So yeah, I don't know why though.
Yeah. You listened well. Yeah, so you want to do what we call a variable reward system. So you want that, like, gambler's effect. The reason humans gamble is because, like, we might win 10 grand. So we want the dog to think, oh, this time I might get a big payment. So it'll be, and it doesn't have to be like the third time every time we give them the jackpot payment. But it's going to be roughly, you know, we pay one piece of food the first time we give it. The second time it's yes, one piece of food. The third time, yes, one piece of food. The fourth time, yes. And we do our jackpot payment, and that might be like 7 or 8 pieces of food in a row. So the dog thinks, oh, fucking hell, next time I hear that word, I want to get my ass back there really, really quick because I might get that big payment. So the second thing you mentioned,
Toys.
toys or play.
Okay.
What do you think is important about play? Or, like, what do you think would motivate a dog to play? Or what do you think is the value of play?
Again, I can't pretend I knew this answer before, but just from watching your group classes, you've said before you need to put a little bit of acting into it because the dog needs to think you're actually trying because it motivates them to play more. Because if they don't think you're trying, then they'll just stop playing with you.
Yeah. So the play needs to, well, at least the dog needs to feel like the play is genuinely competitive. Dogs are insanely competitive animals, and he's going to get a buzz out, or she is going to get a buzz out of, like, thinking that they won. And so you need that, like, 60-40 split where they're winning 60% of the time and you're winning the other 40% of the time. And like you said, it does take a bit of acting skills. You don't... Fucking, I hate myself so much.
Why are you finding this so difficult?
I don't know. I'm just
Am I
trying to...
making you nervous?
I think so. You are making me nervous. And so if you play video games, then, you know, you don't get a buzz out of keep winning level 1. You know, you want to do something that's a little bit more difficult. You want to move on to level 5, 6, 7, and actually feel like you're winning, because you don't get a buzz out of winning something that's easy. And then the other thing about play is, when do you think we should stop play? I'm really putting you on the spot with these questions.
If
Not stop as in, like, if something goes wrong, but when I play with Clifford, or when a client plays with their dog, at what point do we put the toy away?
when they're done.
Well, so that's what a lot of people think. You play to tire the dog out, right? And although that is true when we're trying to build motivation for play, if you think about a dog's motivation to play on a graph, right, and every dog starts here, say this is the first 30 seconds, it goes up like this, and at some point it's going to go like this, and then eventually it's going to dip, right? If you think about that
Yeah.
So at some point the dog's going to be less motivated to play. Where on that graph do you think we should end the play? Like you just said, when they've
Before it
finished
dips.
playing. However, we should end the play before the dip. This is called your extinction point. So at the sort of peak of that play, just before it dips. The reason we do that is because, well, the dog's going to think...
Motivation.
Well, yeah, well, the dog's going to... If it goes away, then the dog's going to be more motivated for it next time it comes out, because he thinks, fucking hell, I wish I'd have just bit that a little bit harder, or I'd have been a bit quicker there. So in terms of motivation for play, we want to recognise that extinction point. And that might be 30 seconds for some dogs, or it might be 10 minutes for other dogs, and it really depends on not only the breed, but genetics and just your dog in general, how much they've played before, So that's going to be different for every dog. So can you think of any other sort of things that might motivate a dog?
Letting them run around and chase things.
Yeah, you had that one in the locker, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like having the dog or letting the dog get to do the thing that they actually wanted to do. And so a way that we can incorporate that is what's called a pre-map marker. And so, for example, his pre-map marker is the word break. And that means go and do the thing that you want to do. Go and interact with the environment now. And the reason we introduce a pre-map marker is to allow the dog to do the thing that they actually want to do. And why that can be really powerful or really motivating is because we don't necessarily decide what's the most rewarding thing for a dog in that moment. For example, when I was outside with a client's dog the other day, I was working with a dog over here. Clifford was in a down maybe 5 or 10 meters away that way. And normally when I say the word break, he'll probably like trot over, sniff around because he thinks there might be some food knocking around on the floor. But when I said break this time, I didn't realise there were some pigeons over there. And so he got up and flew over towards the pigeons. And that's fine because he's not going to catch the pigeons anyway. But what it did for his down in that moment is it reinforced it better than I could have done with a terminal marker or anything else, because he got to do the thing he actually wanted to do. And so if a dog thinks that at some point they might get to do the thing that they actually wanted to do, then again, that can increase
Good behaviour.
motivation, which is the point of this video.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the last bit before Jasmine starts kicking off and we have to stop. Can you think of an example or a time where you could be motivated to do something negatively? So you want to do something because you want something to stop. Something maybe, and it could be something uncomfortable. You think of any examples? So for it, or like, let's take, you're in the car, and what do you have to do when you're in a car?
Drive.
What's the first thing you have to do?
Put your seatbelt on.
Okay, so that's really important. Obviously, you need to put your seatbelt on. And so the car, if it had a brain, wants you to put the seatbelt on. So what does it do to make you put the seatbelt on?
I want to be safe.
How does it? No, what does the car do?
The
So
car,
like, so you go to you switch the engine on, you go to start driving, but you haven't put your
beeps.
seatbelt on. Yeah,
and I
you get,
want that annoying noise to stop.
Hey, exactly. So you switch the car on, it wants you to put your seatbelt on, and the seatbelt sound starts going ding, 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 ding. And so you think, oh, well, that's a bit annoying. I want that to stop. So you're motivated to put your seatbelt in, right?
Yeah. So how's that work in the dog world?
And that's good question. So that's called negative reinforcement. And so we can use negative reinforcement, like we can use a little bit of leash pressure to have a dog do something. And when they do the thing, the pressure stops. And so that's what you get in a seatbelt. In a car, you get that seatbelt sound going ding, 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 ding. You do the thing, it stops. That's how we introduce stuff like e-collars and so on, because we have a small sensation that the dog understands. Oh, to turn that thing off, I need to do the thing that I've been asked to do. And that can be really motivating for a dog, especially if you've got your terminal marker on top of that as well. So therefore, you sort of got this double motivation happening. You've got the motivation of, I want to turn the thing off. This dog turns the thing off. They get that good feeling of, oh, I did that. And then on top of that, you give your terminal marker, so yes, or your reward marker, to tell the dog, yeah, that was right, you did the thing, now come and get your reward for doing that. So then you have this like double end reinforcement. And that's how we can build motivation.
So I got all of them right?
Almost.
So is there not any others? Have I genuinely got all 3 of those right?
That's pretty much what I was going to talk about, yeah.
God. you said I know nothing about dogs.
So this is a forest that's literally on our doorstep, meaning he gets to fuck around chasing all the squirrels and the birds he wants, and I just use the excuse that it's his first time living as well. Anyway, guys, please feel free to hit the subscribe button to follow along on the journey, as this is the place where I'm going to be sharing all the info for free and sharing my journey along the way.